Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you 5 important things to improve your drawings using Samantha from Samsung as a base on what to draw. Don't mind the liquid stains on my shirt, I just had to go bury some thing. Anyway, I see her around. For the record, I'm not really a big fan of Sam, she's kind of like a boring character, but that didn't stop the artist from making fan art of her. It's all over the internet, everywhere you look, everywhere you go. She's everywhere now. I'm sorry, Milk Mommy. There's a new girl in town, and everybody wants to have sex with a cell phone.
Stop, my son.
What? Jesus? Is that you?
But Phil, creating Rule 34 of a fictional cartoon character that doesn't exist is the easiest way to not being able to go to heaven.
What do you mean?
I mean, stop what you're doing. You deserve to get sent to horny jail along with the rest of the internet.
I mean, I'm gonna use it for teaching people. Is that okay?
I guess that's alright. I'll allow it just this once, my dude.
Thank you, my dude. Now that we got Jesus' blessing, it's time to move on to the tutorial. Time to slap on some white stuff on our head and I'll see you there. Establishing a pose for your characters is always going to be one of the most challenging things in a drawing. And one of the most important things that you guys should bear in mind is that your first iteration of your pose is probably going to be awful. It's going to feel stiff. And the more you work on it, it's going to feel like polishing a turd. So, I want to propose something to you guys that some of you might not like. I'd like you guys to make a habit of drawing multiple versions of a drawing you're currently working on before finalizing it.
Oh, God!
I know, right? Why would I do that? All the amazing artists did it, from Norman Rockwell to Leyendecker, Michelangelo, almost everyone. Yeah, except Kim. Kim Jong-gi is just on another level. Pretty sure he came down from one of those tic-tac shaped spaceships and settled to Earth just to flex on everyone. So, looking at the speed paint, you might have noticed that I created a lot of iterations on the pose that I'm doing. And that is extremely important. There are little tiny nuances to a pose that turns it into an okay pose into something that makes you go, "Damn, boy!" So to enumerate, A. Create numerous versions of the pose you're doing. 2. Don't fall in love with your first design. The first one is never the one. That's my art relationship advice. And F. Don't rush. Take some time. Learn along the way. Don't force a masterpiece. Which brings me to my next tip, number 3. Nothing is perfect. Frustration is one of the leading causes of stopping art. Do not forget to have fun drawing. I know it's easy to get discouraged out there, so pace yourselves. And 4. There's no such thing as a bad pose, only bad execution. Believe it or not, however unorthodox or freaky the pose is, as long as it's executed beautifully, it's gonna be a successful drawing. Number 5. Scrap it. Drawing doesn't feel right? Scrap it. Start over. You're building a strong foundation. If you feel it's a little bit wobbly, try to be okay with scrapping things. Don't be a slave to your art. Art should be your bottom bitch. I'd like to invite you to remember the 5 things I enumerated. I assure you that if you at least do one of those, you'll improve your drawing immensely. Or it's your money back guarantee. Now going back to Sam over here, I'd like to talk about the future of brand waifus. You think the other companies haven't noticed the advertising potential in creating waifus for their product foos? I mean, I'm pretty sure Japan is way ahead of the game when it comes to creating mascots for their products. I mean, I know it's been done before, but it was never this meme-worthy. Here in the Philippines, we have our share of mascots too, like Cheese Ring Girl, and Son Gohan Cheese Ring, and the Powerpuff Girls' long-lost sister, Corn. Anyway, so the whole trying not to fall in love with your design thing is probably one of the most important things. And it's tied to the first one, which is to create multiple versions of the post that you're doing. So why didn't I combine the two? I don't know, maybe I just suck at making lists. Anyway, whenever you finish a sketch and you say to yourself, I'm okay with this, try and push it a little bit more. Who knows? You might discover a new pose that improves your drawing tremendously. If you've got the time, try going back to the drawing you just did and add certain things like arm position or add a head tilt. I promise, you'd be surprised. While you're working on getting the pose right, don't rush it. Try doing it while you're watching a movie or listening to music or watching your new favorite artist on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to tick that bell button so you guys will be notified for when I release bangers like these ones. And yeah, don't worry about not getting it after you've done a dozen poses. And I gotta be honest with you guys, it's not easy getting and finding a good pose. You guys gotta find that pose that was better than the last pose you created and build on it. Also, the dozen of poses you created prior to getting the one you wanted, don't throw them out. Save them for later and go back to them while you want some pose ideas. They might not be perfect poses, but it's good to have something to pull from. This is actually good practice and it's one of the things I do. That's why I create varied poses every time. I just have a lot to pull from. Like a box of old toys, you know what I mean? Even if you created a very unorthodox pose, like only a contortionist does, as long as you did number 1, the pose is gonna turn out great. Number 1 is in the first thing I mentioned in the list and not, do number 1. And if it gets frustrating and nothing feels right even though you've been at it for hours now, start over. Think of it like you haven't unlocked that skill level yet and create something that you can achieve. Remember, art is a grind. Don't try to fight high-level poses just yet. Level up by training and learning. Remember, art is a journey and not a destination. I know how crippling it is when you're frustrated. Your art's gonna take the brunt of it. Whenever this happens, don't forget to take a break once in a while. Tunnel vision is something I really want to talk about, but I'll save that for the next video. Learning all of these might seem daunting, and hindsight tells me I should focus on one thing at a time and splice them up to multiple videos, but hey, we learn from our mistakes. Same with art. Mistakes should be welcomed and should be seen as inevitable. The more times you fail, the closer you get into becoming a great artist. Think of them as a way to get battle-hardened. Something to inch closer to defeating them high-level poses. You know what I mean? Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you to my sponsor, Jesus, and of course, my wonderful patrons for making this video possible. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys like what you see, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my video. Hopefully there's not going to be another waifu out there because I'm tired of drawing any waifu. What is this? AMD? Suwa? Oh no!
Phil, you son of a bitch.